Good evening. Thank you for joining us. You're watching News at 8. I am Yvonne Mukondani with Susan Masona on the Sign Language Desk.
My name is Joyce Mabika. Thank you for joining us on the News at 8. We start off with our leading stories tonight.
Government extends ease of doing business reforms to the wholesale and retail sectors.
Prophetic Healing and Deliverance, a PhD church leader, Walter Magaya, arrested.
And in sport, Scotland one win away from Maiden League crown as Simba Bora draw points. Those are our leading stories. Again, thank you for joining us. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says embassies must project to the world the country's strong education system and Zimbabwean professionals' work ethic to ensure they get influential positions in multilateral institutions. The details.
The need for Zimbabwe diplomas posted across the globe to harness the exportable potential of the country's human capital was made at a send-off meeting with President Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House, Harare, this Friday. The head of state said ambassadors should ensure Zimbabweans occupy positions in international organizations as part of growing the country's image while strengthening global influence.
Zimbabweans are renowned for their education, hard work and professionalism. Riding on the high numbers of skilled young people, there is need for us to harness the exportable potential of our human capital. Let us deliberately expand our representation in critical multilateral organizations and share our expertise and experience with the rest of the world. We must therefore pursue the successful placement of Zimbabweans to important positions in international organizations towards growing our image and strengthening our influence within the Committee of Nations. I urge your ambassadors to identify opportunities for more of our citizens to be appointed to strategic positions in regional and international organizations. Additionally, we must look at job opportunities for our talented young people within multinational entities to gain experience and expertise to later transfer them back home.
President Mnangagwa implored ambassadors to continuously engage progressive parties as part of deepening partnerships.
In recognition of this, the ZANU-PF government continues to consolidate relations with liberation movements from the SADC region and to regional allies and organizations such as the Communist Party of China, United Russia Party, and the Communist Party of Cuba, among others. We remain steadfast in solidarity with the plight of the peoples of Palestine and the Western Sahara towards the realization of their independence and sovereignty. I implore you as ambassadors to engage progressive parties from other countries as part of efforts to widen and deepen the scope of Zimbabwe's partnerships and influence.
The ambassadors toured Chimoyo Liberation War Shrine in Mozambique last week, and President Mnangagwa reiterated that diplomacy remains key in safeguarding sovereignty and advancing social transformation.
I want to commend the ministry for organizing the trip to the Chimoyo Liberation War Shrine. This should have enabled you to appreciate the dedication, the sacrifices, and the price paid by our liberation heroes in the ruins of the struggle. Their sacrifices oblige us to save our country with renewed commitment, unity of purpose, and humility to ensure the integrity, dignity, and prosperity of our motherland, Zimbabwe. It is incumbent upon us to do our part, as they did theirs, to jealously guard the sovereignty and hard-won independence that came through these ultimate sacrifices for the attainment of the Zimbabwe we want and we enjoy today.
As Zimbabwean ambassadors are returned to their workplaces while others will occupy new missions, President Mnangagwa reminded them that Zimbabwe shall forever remain a sovereign and independent nation. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Harare.
Treasury continues to undertake sweeping reforms to improve the ease of doing business in various sectors of the economy, as directed by President Emmerson Mnangagwa to create a conducive economic environment.
This Friday, Treasury announced several reforms targeting the retail and wholesale sector, with the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Professor Mthuli Ncube, removing 11 local authorities' licenses by combining it into a unitary license for butcheries, bakeries, restaurants and takeaways, who used to pay as much as $2,300 annually. President of the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers, Mr. Denford Mutashu, described the move as groundbreaking and said to promote investment into the retail and wholesale sector.
The Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers wishes to extend its profound gratitude to His Excellency President Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa and the Second Republic for streamlining regulatory and compliance cost of doing business. And about 11 licenses have been removed from a number of local authorities through a consolidation process that will see a business only obtaining one license as opposed to a number of licenses that a business needed to fulfill. The bottle store license has also drastically been reduced, while a number of other licenses have completely been removed. We are quite happy that some of the licenses have been reduced from around $3,500 to a cap of $1,000.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Industry and Commerce, Honorable Clemens Chidiwa, says the development reflects government's strong commitment to promote business growth.
There is need for sweeping reforms to be done, has actually been implemented. And what we need now is for the business community, the SMEs, to also do a quid pro quo relationship. Once the government has also done this, what is needed is for this to filter down on pricing.
Government pledged to review license fees in all sectors in line with its mantra of improving the economic operating environment. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Government has commended the Roman Catholic Church for its continued investment in national development initiatives, pledging to deepen partnerships that promote community empowerment. This came out during the launch of the Autonomy of the Good Shepherd of the Order of Friars Zimbabwe, held in Harare this Saturday.
The Order of Friars Minor, a Catholic fraternity popularly known as the Franciscans, celebrated a historic milestone as it officially gained autonomy from its Irish province, marking the establishment of a locally governed custody of the Good Shepherd in Zimbabwe. Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, who highlighted his deep connection with the Franciscans, hailed the church for its enduring role in national development.
This is a story of quiet rebellion against colonial oppression, a tale of friars who, in the name of a higher calling, chose to stand with the marginalized. With their secret support, we, as young men, driven by a vision for a liberated Zimbabwe, found the means to cross borders and join the protracted liberation struggle. They risked everything, their positions, their freedom, even their lives, acting as a vital underground lifeline for our cause.
Government is keen on enhancing state-church ties in development.
I stand here to reaffirm the government of Zimbabwe's unwavering support for the Franciscan mission. Your commitment to education, health care, the evangelization aligns seamlessly with our national aspirations. As we move forward, let us continue to collaborate to ensure that the legacy of those who sacrificed so much continues to thrive.
The church says the new status will enhance growth, allowing it to expand its mission and deepen its local roots.
My brothers, the Friars Minor in this autonomous now custody of Zimbabwe, this is your call to be shepherds like Jesus in the spirit of St. Francis, close to the people of Zimbabwe.
Today we gather, indeed not to witness the severing of ties, but to witness the growth of the Franciscan family.
Part of our mission in the church is to help build up the people of God at local level and then move elsewhere to serve the needs of the people.
Established under the Irish province in 1958, the Franciscans have been instrumental in founding schools, vocational centers, and health institutions across Zimbabwe. With autonomy now achieved, the Order of Friars Minor's custody of the Good Shepherd is poised to strengthen its mission of faith-driven service in education, health, and community development.
Zimbabwe is on course to record yet another wheat bumper harvest, making it one of the only two countries to be self-sufficient for the strategic crop.
In 2019, Zimbabwe's wheat output stood at nearly 95,000 metric tons, but has since changed owing to massive investments and policy interventions by government. The country produced over 560,000 metric tons last year and is on course to meet this year's target of 600,000 metric tons.
Zimbabwe is only one of the two jurisdictions on the African continent that have become wheat self-sufficient. This is testament to the leadership that has been provided by His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. During the current season, cumulatively 588,000 metric tons have been harvested. This volume already surpasses our last year's record production of 562,000 metric tons. An additional 9,489 hectares of the 122,000 planted should be harvested as per plan by the first week of November 2025. This production is 511% in terms of percentage increase.
Meanwhile, farmers in Mashonaland Central Province have harvested 95% of wheat they planted this season after producing 150,000 tons of wheat so far. ZBC News caught up with Glendale wheat farmer Mr. Kumbirai Chinyemba in the midst of harvesting his wheat crop and highlighted that he has been able to achieve an average yield of 5.5 tons per hectare.
So far we have harvested 35 hectares out of 80 hectares of wheat, and we are looking forward to finish our harvesting in 5 days' time. We are averaging 5 to 5.5 tons per hectare. We've started planting maize, 5 hectares maize. We're aiming for just 10 hectares and mostly soybeans. Will cover the rest 70 hectares.
Mashonaland Central Acting Provincial Director in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development, Mr. Mishek Chitokomere said farmers produced beyond expectations after surpassing the provincial wheat target by 910 hectares.
Currently, harvesting is in progress, and so far, 95% of our wheat has been harvested, and this translates to 26,517 hectares that has been harvested. And our average yield is 5.75 tons per hectare, with a total production of 152,689.9 tons. Our rains are expected around 10 November, and hopefully by then, all our wheat would have been removed from the fields.
With focus slowly shifting to the summer cropping season, wheat farmers have been encouraged to make bales from their wheat stover in order to boost the food reserves for livestock. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Mazowe.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is the country's health ambassador and patron of the Cervical Cancer Task Force, has launched a groundbreaking men's wellness campaign focusing on promoting cancer screening among men. The details.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is also the country's health and child care ambassador, has once again demonstrated her unwavering commitment to public health by leading a historic cancer screening campaign targeting men. Held at Parire Nyatwa Group of Hospitals this Saturday, the groundbreaking initiative saw hundreds of men turning up to receive free prostate and breast cancer screening, a service rarely accessed by men due to stigma, lack of awareness and affordability challenges. Mother Zimbabwe's first port of call was the cancer screening stands where she interacted with the beneficiaries receiving attention. The medical services on offer also included blood sugar testing and blood pressure checks. In keeping with the custom and as a gesture of respect, the First Lady graciously humbled herself and sought permission before addressing the men. Dr. Mnangagwa, in her capacity as Health and Child Care Ambassador, emphasized the life-saving importance of early detection, reminding the nation that prevention is better than cure.
For many years, our health programs have rightly focused on women and children, but in doing so, we have unintentionally left a gap. Our men who work tirelessly, who carry the burden of provision, who are expected to always be strong, have often neglected their own health. Many of them suffer in silence, dismiss symptoms, and only seek help when illness is advanced. In Zimbabwe, as in many African societies, cultural norms have taught men that showing pain or seeking help is a sign of weakness. Some will say, varume avacheme, or indoda aikali. But today, I'm here to gently challenge that belief. Seeking health care is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of wisdom, strength, and responsibility.
Mother Zimbabwe said the launch will also help in reducing cases of domestic violence.
Men delay seeking medical attention. Too often they endure discomfort, hide symptoms, rely on self-medication, or seek help when illness has already progressed. We must change this. Today's launch is about restoring balance. It is about showing our men that they matter too, that their health is a national priority. We want men to benefit from the same opportunities for prevention, screening, and treatment that women and children have received for years. Our focus today is on general wellness, especially the growing burden of non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, and cancers. Many of these diseases are preventable through health lifestyle choices, regular exercise, healthy eating, avoiding excessive alcohol consumption and smoking, and going for routine checkups. Zvakuda kuchitaurwa mukati memba, vana muchitadare navo, vana baba muchitadare nana vakomana, vana mai vachigarawo nevana vasikana. Ndo zvakutodiwa nokuti ndo mafambiro nemagariro avako nhasi.
Beneficiaries are grateful to Dr. Mnangagwa for prioritizing their health.
Chirongwa chichabatsira vanhu vechirume vakawanda. Ndoto varume isusu tikuwanika tisikakwanisi kubuda mudzimba dzedu tichienda vhakachira zvipatara kana kuvhakachira zvirongwa zvakadai. Saka tiki chikaramba chichitenderera munzvimbo dzese dzatinogara, tichawana varume vese vachibuda vachikwanisa kunge vachitestwa.
Ndaitova nechishuwo kuti deno raiparadzirwa shoko iri rainda uno kumasvingo kumusha kwangu, rainda uno kwese kubhuruwai nokupi raparadzirwa varume vakwanise kuva vanouyawo vachizotarirwa kumahospitari nokumakiriniki.
Vanhurume tanga takasara maningi papurogiramu dzakadai. maiva tigonera zvisingaiti.
Traditional and faith leaders are grateful to Mother Zimbabwe and promised to take the initiative to their communities.
Vatiratidza kuti varume vanokwanisa kuita sei kurapika. Ende tanzwa zvakare kuti chirwere ichi kwachikurumidzira aiwa 99% chances of survival dzakawanda. Saka isusu takutonokurudzira vanhu vedu kumatunhu kwedu kuti tigodana ivo vana mazvikokota vauye vatiitire ikoko kana kuti tiuye nevarume kuno.
Zviro kwazvo bhaibheri riri kutaura kuti vanhu vangu vaparara nemhaka yekushaya zivo. Saka zivo yavo yana amai iyi yekuti manyai uko varume kunzvimbo yerutiziro yari kutinongedzera.
Harare Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Senator Charles Tawengwa, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Child Care, Dr. Aspect Maunganidze, applauded Mother Zimbabwe for dynamic leadership, compassion and relentless commitment to public health and national development.
You have really brought unprecedented attention to cancer prevention, early detection and treatment, ensuring that the family are strengthened and no family suffers in silence. So this marks a new chapter for many.
The initiative will cascade to other provinces, with Dr. Mnangagwa expected to lead an awareness-raising campaign that will see men from all walks of life participating. From urban centers to the most remote villages, Dr. Mnangagwa has mobilized a state-of-the-art mobile clinic, ensuring no one is left behind in the sustained effort to fight cancer in Zimbabwe. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The panel of eminent persons of the African peer review mechanism, led by Ambassador Ali El Hefni from Egypt, is in the country for the inaugural target review process, set to begin on Monday.
Zimbabwe is set to undergo an inaugural African Peer Review Mechanism APRM targeted review process on economic governance and management from Monday until the 18th of this month. Speaking to the media after arrival at the Robert Mugabe International Airport this Saturday, panel of eminent persons of African Peer Review Mechanism Head of Delegation Ambassador Al Elfin outlined the significance of the review for Zimbabwe and Africa.
We are talking about a review that targets the economic governance and management. It was the opinion of the government that this matter has to take its number one priority because economy is behind everything, and especially behind every success in the in governing, ruling over any country.
National Governance Council, APRM Zimbabwe Chairperson Ambassador James Manzowu highlighted the importance of the review, noting that after completion, President Emmerson Mnangagwa will present the results to his peers in Ethiopia next year.
The African Peer Review Mechanism is an African mechanism that is, there to do reviews, policy reviews for African countries. So it is an African mechanism for Africans by Africans. Last year, His Excellency the President did indicate that he would like the first review for Zimbabwe to be in the area of economic governance and management. And this team that the ambassador is leading is coming to undertake that review.
The APRM is a self-monitoring instrument voluntarily adopted by African Union member states to foster peer learning and accountability in governance. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
The ongoing rehabilitation of the Bulawayo Victoria Falls Highway has been met with excitement after the initial stretch to be completed having been opened to traffic in Insuza Umguza district. Our Matebeleland North Bureau Chief Mplomo Lingwe filed this report.
Brick upon brick, the Second Republic is delivering infrastructure to Zimbabwe on a daily basis. The Bulawayo Victoria Falls Highway is slowly regaining its befitting status as contractors are burning midnight oil to refurbish the road that links many areas to the country's tourism capital, Victoria Falls. The first 5 kilometers to be completed under the government project have since been opened to traffic in Umkuza, much to the delight of both road users and surrounding community members. For government, the first few steps are a commitment to a promise made to Zimbabweans that the highway will be rehabilitated.
Ukubonga kakhulu sayala lokho sibonga uPresident Edie Mnangagwa ngokusilethela ama-contractors kuBulawayo Victoria Falls Road, and nanku siyabona u-first contractor uSiven sevulele izimota ku-first 5 kilometer yakhe oseyitshayile, and esikukhangelele ukuthi wonke ama-contractors beyenze umsebenzi njengoSiven indlela osebenza ngayo ukuze i-target yethu esikhangeleyo eka-July next year sibe sesikwanisile ukuthi umgwaqo uvule wonke usiyafika eVictoria Falls.
Under the Second Republic, construction of roads has been prioritized, with major highways across the country having a new look, which also affirms government's commitment towards world-class infrastructure that enhances trade. As works on the Bulawayo Victoria Falls Highway continue, all hands are on the deck as government targets to leverage on infrastructure to spur national development in line with the vision to attain an upper middle income society by 2030. Mhlomoli Ncube, ZBC News, in Suza.
The government has commissioned a 1.2 million United States dollar gold milling plant in Zhishavane, a development that will boost gold production, create employment and contribute to national development.
Charmed by the Second Republic's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind in the country's development matrix, Sabi Gold Mine has installed a gold milling center in Zhishavane for local artisanal miners. Receiving the empowerment project, artisanal miners said the plant will play a significant role in changing livelihoods.
Because of this mill, vanhu vakutora nguva shomanene vachigaya, uyezve there is transparency on working. Just because vanhu vakutoziva kuti vanhu vese vanenge varipo pamill vachiona mabatirwo emari, maitirwo eprocess yedu yese is transparent.
Taimbonetsekana chiropi kugaya chaipo chaipo kuti togaya pamushina 1 masitosa. The
donation will ensure artisanal miners in the district realize their mining potential and ability to contribute to the growth of the sector.
It was a chance for us to also go into the community and support them in terms of setting up a milling plant so that they could work in a safer environment, they could improve their productivity.
Government has commended the public-private partnership, highlighting its potential to drive economic growth and development.
Gold kumberengwa yakawandisa asa hakuna fungwa dzanga dzaitiwa zvakadai, saka ndozvipirira kuti ndichataura namamwe ma-MP yangu kumberengwa tibudise zvakadai kuti vana vasashanda pane njodzi vachiwana mugove wakanaka.
This investment stands as a beacon of progress for the Zhishavane mining community and underscores the crucial role of private sector in Zimbabwe's realization of a prosperous and empower upper middle income society underpinned by responsible mining environmental stewardship.
The initiative shows motivation and commitment by investors to take up opportunities being provided by the Second Republic in its quest to attain an upper middle class income society by 2030. Karejushe, ZBC News, Zhishavane.
The ZANU-PF leadership in Matabeleland and South Province this Saturday convened a meeting to discuss several issues, key among them the recently held 22nd National People's Conference in Mutare.
The first meeting for ZANU-PF Matabeleland and South Province after the ruling party's National People's Conference, and the last before the year ends, was characterized by song and dance in Gwanda this Saturday. The ZANU-PF Central Committee members took time to praise the party's first secretary and president, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, for mobilizing vehicles for the Central Committee members, which the province say will come in handy in mobilization efforts.
Lokuthi si province sithe kwaqalapha iPCC yethu yakuqala ngemva kweconference kuyiPCC yethu eyokugcina umnyaka ususiyaphela. Sithe hayi ngeke sihlangane singa uyanga sazobona lokho esikwenzelwe ngumongameli osithandayo. Ngokwakuqala
kusukela kungakazalwa badala ngokwakuqala ukuthi lokhu kwenzakale kuZANU-PF.
Izimota zethu lezi esizinikiweyo asizinikiwanga ukubane sithini siyeba ngotsheketsha siyaziabuse izimota lezo. Samele sizisebenzise kuhle siqiniseni party singeneni ku ground sakheni nama cells sakheni ama branches ethu sakheni nama districts sakheni konke amalokuzeni.
The meeting also received a report on the ongoing preparations for 2026 national independence celebrations to be held in Mapisa.
We are doing Mapisa-Gwanda Road. Those of you who have used it, we have done about 20 kilometers, and we intend to make sure that by March next year will be done. We are going to do re-graveling of Mapisa-Mpoengs Road. We are going to do re-graveling of Mapisa-San Yatsen Road. We are going to do re-graveling of St. Joseph's Sunset Road. We are going to do re-graveling of Sunset Manama Road.
The PCC also took time to thank party members who worked tirelessly to wrestle the Mangwe council seat from the opposition in the recently held by-election. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
Remember to visit our website for these and more stories in greater detail. Our website is www.zbcnews.co.zw. We are also on various social media platforms. We are ZBC News Online.
Now, stories still to expect in this bulletin. Prophetic Healing and Deliverance PhD church leader Walter Magaya arrested. Well, after a break, we will be back with more. To stay with us.
Drug and substance abuse leads to serious health problems, financial troubles,
accidents, injuries, relationship issues, and addiction,
which can be very difficult to overcome. Above all, drug and substance abuse is a crime.
Are you struggling with drug and substance abuse?
Do you know someone who is struggling with drug and substance abuse-related addiction?
Get assistance. Call now on the Drug and Substance Abuse Unit toll-free number
0801 4424.
For all mental health challenges, please call toll-free number 2024.
Don't let drugs control your life. Seek help and start your journey to recovery today.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Prophetic Healing and Deliverance PhD church leader Walter Magaya has been arrested. Zimbabwe Republic Police spokesperson Commissioner Ponyati confirmed through a statement that Magaya was arrested this Saturday morning in connection with several reports of rape and fraud. He said more details about the case will be released in due course. The 41-year-old SEC leader and owner of Yada Football Club was in 2018 convicted for distributing what he claimed to be an HIV cure. After his public announcement of the purported herbal remedy known as Aguma, Magaya was prosecuted and convicted for violating the Medicines Control Act by distributing an unapproved drug. His claims were also condemned by the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Zimbabwean government as dangerous and fraudulent.
That report taking us to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, where we have Marilyn Ngwenya on standby. Marilyn, good evening, and it is over to you. Good evening, and many thanks to you, Yvonne. In our following report, the 9th Institute of Cultural Affairs International Conference has ended in Victoria Falls, with delegates describing the resort city as the heart and jewel of Africa. The conference, which focused on human development, was being hosted on African soil for the first time.
Delegates said Victoria Falls lived up to its world-class reputation, offering breathtaking scenery, abundant wildlife and warm hospitality.
I know they put it in Forbes magazine. It's absolutely true, but come to Zimbabwe. It's the best place to visit. It's the heart and the jewel of Africa, and I encourage you, look at what Forbes has to say, but come here on your own and see it for yourself.
Right outside our hotel, we had elephants break down a wall and come in and eating the mango. It was just amazing to have such animals that were so willing to interact with people.
We saw hippos walking all around, elephants, so that's really beautiful. The coexistence between people and the animal is really inspiring.
Delegates adopted a set of resolutions aimed at strengthening community resilience and sustainable development.
The resolutions that have come out of this conference is climate change education, having more outreach programs on climate change education. And then the second resolution that has come is expanding on the community development projects. Some of them that have been identified is recycling and also looking into clean air. The other resolution that has come out is about youth, giving them information against drug abuse.
The conference, which is held every 4 years, was attended by over 200 delegates from more than 30 countries across the globe. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
The drugs and substance abuse scourge has been described as a major blow to efforts by communities to fight HIV and AIDS, as well as child sexual exploitation.
Traditional leaders in Matabeleland South Province are playing a key role in the fight against HIV and AIDS, as well as child sexual exploitation, which has for many years been a driver of teenage pregnancies and cases of girls dropping out of school. The chiefs are part of a campaign dubbed Not in My Village campaign, which is being spearheaded by the National AIDS Council.
For the past 3 months, wayehlalela abantwana abangamankazana silokhulu wayehlalela abantwana abangabafana.
However, drug and substance abuse has been identified as a major setback to the initiative by traditional leaders.
So silohlupho lwama night clubs. Kithi lapha nesejube kule night club eyavulwayo akulalwa. Balala begida khona phana obaba kabasalala emizini yabo abantwana balala khona phana kuyabulawana kulobukhithitha.
Ukusebenza wethu namapholisa usebenza wethu labantu abatshiyeneyo labenak to really afford us ithuba lokuthi siqede.
Stakeholders who attended the Not in My Village review meeting this Friday called for unity of purpose between the traditional leadership and the National AIDS Council to safeguard the gains in the fight against HIV prevalence.
Okokugcina kulesikhulumi esithe khona thina esikolo sinika abantwana izinto zokuthi bangazithwali. Ku-Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education sithi they should abstain.
Kulo umhlangano sikhangela ukuthi lokho elisihlomisa ngakho sikwenze kube yiplan yomnyaka ozayo.
The Minister of State for Matabeleland South Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Albert Ngulube, called on traditional leaders to be firm in the fight against moral decay.
This then means that our young generation needs serious guidance. We need to safeguard our society by crafting guidelines protecting against teenage pregnancy and child marriages. The strategy we are pursuing today is very much befitting the national response to HIV and AIDS for us to minimize new HIV infections by the year 2030.
The Not in My Village campaign is among many interventions credited for scaling down on HIV cases in the country. Zimbabwe surpassed the 95-95-95 target, with 97% of people living with HIV aware of their status, over 95% on antiretroviral therapy ART, and 96% of those on ART virally suppressed. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News.
Government is enhancing information communication technology learning in schools, with Chimbumu Primary School in Guruve being the latest beneficiary of the initiative after receiving laptops and a Starlink kit.
Parents, teachers and students were delighted at Chimbumu Primary School in Guruve this Saturday after receiving ICT equipment donated by the head of state. The equipment comprises laptops, a Starlink kit and interactive smart board in line with modern teaching trends.
Tave tiri vanhu vakasaririra mukati menzvimbo ino asi tafara kuburikidza nemalaptop, Starlink uyezve bhodhi rekunyorera risingashandise machoko.
Kunzwa kufara nezvinhu zvatumidzirwa napresident kuti zvanenge zvichisvika kuno kwaChimbumu. Taive vanhu vakasaririra tichishorwa mukati meino nzvimbo asi tinotenda tinonzwa kufara zvikuru computers, Naoma Starlink, mabhodhi ekunyorera.
Mashonaland Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, said the laptops should be utilized to buttress the heritage-based Education 5.0 curriculum.
Urongwa wa president ndio kuti by 2030 or well before 2030. Ndio vision yenyika ino. Tingetapa upper middle income economy. Zvino tinosvika kana ma generations and generations are achiva equipped the knowledge and everything is being digitalized. So kureva kuti aufana kusara pakudzidza nyaya dzemakombiyuta.
In addition to enhancing learning, the ICT equipment is expected to improve school administration.
Zvichizozadziswa neStarlink yatapiwa basa redu isusu rareruka. Kana navarairidzi ndinoona vachifara zvikuru. Panapa tine varairidzi 32.
Government is targeting access to modern technology at rural schools in the country to bridge the digital divide in line with the country's ICT policy under the Leaving No One and No Place Behind mantra. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Guruve.
Government has affirmed its commitment to prioritize the welfare of health professionals, saying it is crucial in ensuring the country has motivated health workers who uphold highest standards of integrity in the discharge of their duties.
Government is prioritizing the welfare of healthcare workers through the Health Workforce Strategy, which aims to improve retention and consistent allowance payments, especially for village health workers. This was revealed by the Deputy Minister of Health and Childcare, Slayman Kwidini, at Mpilo Central Hospital Nurses graduation ceremony held in Bulawayo this Friday.
Nowadays, we've seen most of our nurses, some of them who are graduating now, they are refusing to go to rural areas where we call some areas hard to reach areas, but definitely we're encouraging them to go. But as the government and our partners were preparing to make sure how best can we retain those people, those professionals to those areas.
The graduating nurses pledged ethical nursing practice that prioritizes the well-being of patients.
At the highest level, to give loyal support. In cooperation to all members of the health team.
The Mpilo Central Hospital 2025 graduation ceremony ran under the theme, Nurses, a Voice to Lead, Health for All. Lisa Korida, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that report takes us back to Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, where Yvonne is on standby. Yvonne, it's back to you.
Thank you, Mary. Now, moving on with the bulletin from Pocket Hill. The 18th Ubuntu.net Connect conference held in Harare this Friday has underscored the vital role of digital infrastructure and collaborative networks in transforming higher education, research, and governance across Africa.
Dignitaries, researchers, technology experts and policymakers from across the continent converged in Harare this Friday to exchange ideas on advancing Africa's digital ecosystem. In a speech read on his behalf, the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Ambassador Frederick Shava, emphasized the importance of resilient and sustainable research in accelerating Africa's growth.
Resilient and sustainable research and education networks for the future is not just an annual event. It is a beacon of collaboration innovation, and a shared vision for the advancement of higher and tertiary education and research in Africa. We recognize that for these initiatives to bear full fruit, a robust and accessible research and education network infrastructure is paramount.
Experts highlighted ongoing efforts to bridge the digital divide through regional partnerships.
Here in Zimbabwe, while the EU does not have dedicated bilateral programs in education or digital sectors, we are proud to contribute through several important initiatives. Zimbabwean institutions have also begun participating in Horizon Europe, fostering cooperation in science, research and innovation. In parallel, the EU collaborates with the International Telecommunications Union and COIPRAS to support broadband mapping and digital infrastructure planning.
Together, let us build resilient and sustainable networks that will empower the next generation of African researchers.
Digital infrastructure has become the backbone of knowledge creation, innovation, and learning. In Africa, our national and regional research and education networks, NRENs, and RNs are the engines of transformation.
The UbuntuNet Alliance brings together national research and education networks from over 16 African countries, including Zimbabwe, Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, South Africa, and Ethiopia. The countries are working to connect universities and research institutions through high-speed internet and shared digital infrastructure. The overall goal is to strengthen Africa's research capacity, enhance academic collaboration, and integrate the continent into the global knowledge economy through sustainable digital transformation.
The Zimbabwe Chinese Business Association is engaging communities on issues around investments and charity by Chinese communities in the country. More from the following report.
An engagement held in Harare saw the Zimbabwe Chinese Business Association and local church leaders under the Bishop's Fellowship discussing ways of enhancing cooperation between Zimbabweans and the Chinese community in the country. The association, which has spearheaded investments in health and education, including the construction of a school in Harare's Heathcliff Extension suburb, has pledged to do more in supporting livelihoods in Zimbabwe.
There's a lot of cooperation between two countries, and not only the business part, but also the culture, tradition, culture, and also the tourism.
Representatives of the Bishop's Fellowship spoke about the Chinese charity work and the need to break the language barrier for enhanced cooperation.
We have noticed that the Chinese community has to come on picture because they are the people who are on the ground right now and they are doing a lot of investment in Zimbabwe. And there are some works which they are doing which people doesn't even know. And we want these works to be well known with everyone, every Zimbabwean.
Ungana kwatakaita zuva ranhasi kuri kundifadza zvakanyanya nekuti tine tarisiro kuti semabhishop kana kuti vana maibhishop tigone kupinda mucommunity, tigone kubatsira machurches edu nevana vedu vesangano vanoda zvikwanisiro zvakakwana.
Today, Zimbabwe Chinese cooperation continues to play a major role in local development through key infrastructure projects such as the Parliament Building in Mount Hampton, rehabilitation of Wanga Unit 7 and 8 power station, and the Dinson Iron and Steel Project and the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, among others.
Government has launched the 2025 Domestic Tourism Festive Season campaign, a move welcomed by players in the sector for promoting tourist destinations.
The campaign, launched in Kariba this Friday, comes after Zimbabwe was ranked as the #1 tourism destination in 2025. Riding on this Forbes magazine recognition, government is encouraging Zimbabweans to sample the country's tourism offerings, hence the launch of the 2025 Domestic Tourism Festive Season campaign.
As a family, people are not visiting that much. As an individual, people are not visiting that much. As friends, people are not visiting that much. This is what we referred to in our speech to say we are addressing through the amendment of the bill, because the cost of visiting for Holiday Inn is very high in our country. That is the part that is lagging behind. Otherwise, as a whole, domestic tourism is doing very well, more than anything else, more than international tourism.
Tourism players in Karibam welcomed the move, which comes with government's deliberate move to decentralize national tourism events.
What the government has done has given us an opportunity to have even international investors coming into Kariba and exploring the different types of opportunities that we have here.
There are so many activities that have stopped happening in Kariba that used to be before the turn of the millennium. So I think we are now starting to revive some of these things.
We come from Chinhoyi, and we are actually receiving the fruits of these activities in Kariba. We provide accommodation, we provide meals. So what it means that along the way, all players in the tourism activities, they are benefiting.
Meanwhile, the Zimbo campaign remains a key driver in marketing the country's unique attractions, reinforcing the message that Zimbabwe is open for business. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Karibam.
We're off to a break. Join us shortly for business news when we return.
TV, your voice, your choice.
Thank you for staying with us. Stakeholders in the construction sector have pledged to contribute to national development by ensuring quality infrastructure across the country.
The current infrastructure boom necessitated by the Second Republic has been met with commitment by various stakeholders in the construction sector to contribute to national development. The Zimbabwe Institute of Building Control Offices met this Saturday in Harare amid focus on compliance to quality standards and bylaws in the wake of several infrastructure projects being implemented countrywide.
As building control officers, you should be recognized when you are retired so that you'll be helping your community and others.
By having this organization registered, it means we are going to be also recognized nationwide as a group that will be responsible for taking care or for administering the bylaws that control the construction industry.
We're looking at the quality of constructions. We are checking also adherence to the model building bylaws. In other words, we're providing security to communities. Places where we stay, they must be built under certain conditions, certain standards, and meet certain criteria.
Acting President, Zimbabwe Institute of Building Control Offices, Mr. Lavmo Mangena, spoke on the need for collaboration in construction processes.
We've also tried to embrace people who have retired, who are still out or who have retired when we have left local authorities, so that in the event that we have got a lot of projects to be supervised, we can still engage them, because these guys know the code of conduct. They have been under local authorities and they've read the modern building bylaw and they know how to apply it.
Infrastructure development has become Zimbabwe's cornerstone to building a modern and inclusive society, with Transformative Vision 2030 roadmap seeking to create a sustainable approach to housing and commercial development.
Thousands of people converged in Harare South this Saturday for the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation's radio services launch of the 2025 mega tour meant to take radio straight to the people.
Laughter, cheers, and the beat of local hits echoed through Southley Park as fans met their favorite DJs from Radio Zimbabwe, Power FM, National FM, Classic 263, Kulumani FM and Central FM this Saturday. The event marked the kick-off of ZBC Radio Services Mega Tour 2025, which is running under the theme Zimbabwe Yadirwa Uchi, symbolizing unity across communities. ZBC Director Radio Services Mr. Albert Chekai said the tour fulfills the broadcaster's mandate to connect, educate and celebrate Zimbabweans through media and music.
Our mandate is to increase the nation's happiness index, and we are doing it very well. We are confident we'll do that. We would go to Mashonaland West, Mondoro Mbaira, we would go to Chegutu, and we'll go to the Midlands Province, Gokwe Chitekete as the final venue, and we have to make sure we go to every part of the country, leaving no one and no place behind.
Beyond music, the event offered life-changing lessons from drug awareness campaigns to community empowerment, showing that radio remains both entertaining and educational. From here, the mega tour goes to Mutoko, Kotwa, Mondoro Mbaira, Chegutu, and finally Chitekete in Gokwe, spreading the rhythm of national pride. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News, Harare.
Elsewhere, Zimbabwean beauty queen Lishanda Moyes has arrived in Thailand ahead of the Miss Universe 2025 pageant, joining more than 100 contestants from around the world for one of the most celebrated events in global pageantry. Let's get more.
The world's most beautiful ladies are gathering in Thailand, and the stage is set for the Miss Universe 2025 pageant, running from this Sunday to the 21st of this month. Among the dazzling arrivals is Zimbabwe's own Lashanda Moyes, who touched down in Bangkok, ready to represent the nation with pride. As she joins over 100 contestants from across the globe, Lashanda carries not just the hopes of a nation, but also the story of Zimbabweans' resilience, creativity, and confidence. For Zimbabwe, Lashanda's presence marks a moment of renewed recognition on the international stage, celebrating local talent and the spirit of African beauty. As the countdown begins to Coronation Night, all eyes are on the Zimbabwean Queen. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News.
Well, we wish you all the best. It's now time for the latest in sport. Defending champions Zimbabwe dropped 2 points to give log leaders Scotland an advantage in the title race after the Shamva-based side drew 1-1 with the Highlanders in a Castle Premier Soccer League match played at Wadzanai Stadium this Saturday.
Zimbabwe's hopes of defending their Premier Soccer League title took another knock as they were yelled to a 1-1 draw by Highlanders, leaving them on 57 points, 5 behind log leaders Scotland FC. The early pace-setters' form has dwindled of late, as Joe Lupasa's Chargers have only managed just 3 points in the last 5 matches, yielding the advantage to a determined Tondera Indiraya-coached Scotland FC. While Zimbabwe dropped 2 points at home, Moose FC climbed to second on 58 points after edging Triangle United 1-0 at Ngoni Stadium. Elsewhere, Tel1 drew 1-0 with Greenfield at Ascot. Chicken Inn and Caps United also finished 1-0 at Luveve, while Manica Diamonds beat Ngeze Platinum Stars 1-0 at Sakuva. ZPC Kariba and FC Platinum shared this post in a 1-0 draw at Nyamunga, and Yada Standia Rentals College 1-0 at Rufaro Stadium. Scotland FC will sit top with 62 points from 31 matches and now just 1 victory away from making history by winning the PSL title in their debut season if they beat Kwekwe United this Sunday at Ascot Stadium. In individual accolades, Washington Navaya continues to impress, scoring his 17th goal of the campaign to goal level with last year's Golden Boot winner Lionel Chikua. Navaya now needs just 3 more goals in the remaining 2 matches to become the first player since the late Norman Maroto in 2010 to reach the 20-goal milestone in a single campaign. This Sunday's fixtures will see Dynamos hosting Bikita Minerals at Rufaro Stadium in a crucial relegation battle, while Scotland visit Coco United at Ascot, where the title could be decided. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Zimbabwe Defence Forces Queens put on track their title defence after easing past Chipungu Queens in a netball bubble played at White City Stadium in Bulawayo this Saturday.
Was netball action galore at White City as defending champion ZDF Queens posted 2 impressive wins to go top of the log. Here on, Chipungu Queens had beaten Harare City 47-35 to go level on points with their opponents, but a lot more was still in store for netball lovers. Up-stepped ZDF Queens would dispatch the Makati and then Chipungu Queens to put the title race into their own hands. After this Saturday's match, the trio of ZDF Queens, Harare City and Chipungu are tied on 50 points, although the defending champions have a superior goal difference. With the title race wide open ahead of the last round of matches this Sunday, Chipungu goal attacker Tafadzwa Matura, who is yearning for a dance in national team colours, believe it is still game on.
Nokurova kwataita Harare City palogu tinopera tiri pa number 2. Chivimbo chedu ndichocho chokuti takakundikana pekutanga tikagadzirisa ma mistakes edu nasi tikairova Harare City saka tinopera tiri pa number 2.
Chipungu Queens has 5 national team players in Priska Mpofu, Lisa Tanyanyiwa, Takadananshe Asa, Adrula Mukule and Blessing Marombo, and the club's benefactor, the Air Force of Zimbabwe, has expressed commitment towards nurturing talent.
As an Air Force of Zimbabwe, we are committed to joining the nation in promoting sports so that we put the name of the country on the map in terms of sports. And in particular, we are also very keen to develop the girl child in all facets of sports.
Ahead of the final round of matches, Premier League Netball Secretary General Alice Makunura reflected on the sport code gaining traction.
I'm very happy to let you know that our league had a regional exposure where we took 3 teams for Kosana Games in Namibia. We took Zimbabwe Defence Forces, we took Makate High Flyers to Namibia.
Netball leagues adopted a bubble format to bring netball action closer to communities. ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Zimbabwe's national badminton team has left for South Korea to take part in the 2025 Korea Masters Badminton World Championships. The tournament runs from the 4th to the 9th of November. Our reporter was at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport and filed the following report.
The country's flag is once again flying on the international stage as the Zimbabwe national badminton team departed for South Korea for the 2025 Korea Masters Badminton World Championships this Saturday. The team's participation is a reflection of the thick and thriving bilateral ties between the Zimbabwean government and their South Korean counterparts, particularly in the fields of sport, youth development and cultural exchange. Accompanying the 4-member squad is the Deputy Minister of Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Honorable Emily Jesiah, who says government remains committed to supporting athletes across all disciplines.
This collaboration is going to help us as a country to also benchmark our training skills with that of countries that are already doing well in the sport. And also going into the future, we intend to come back home and promote and support this sport in terms of its infrastructure as well as having proper grassroots structures.
From Harare to Iksan, Team Zimbabwe will be looking to make a strong impression at the Korea Masters.
This is coming at a very good time for us because we were already preparing for competitions in Africa, the regional competitions in Zambia, in Botswana. And so this is going to be a huge boost.
It will increase our gameplay. So I think these players will be sort of like a benchmark to all of our players. And we are ready to play them. We have trained so hard. So yeah, we will go and compete.
This squad comprises some of the country's finest badminton players, with female athlete Avishi Raina set to join the team en route via Malaysia. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report from Reynold Ngwarati concluding this news bulletin. Join us again at same time, same place tomorrow for Sunday edition. From myself, Joyce Mabika, Yvonne Mkondani, Susan Masona on sign language, and the rest of the crew is good night.
Good night.